Thanks for joining us, America. Welcome to Indivisible. We're going to get a great show tonight. I got my friend Joe Denim on from Nashville. I'm going to be bringing him up here in just a few minutes after our commercial break. But just before we even get to that, just remember, this is the show we put God, family, and country first. We will always tell you the truth. A couple of quick things that I want to go over. Obviously, our new coffee line under the johnstubbins.com website, which you can go to and have this coffee delivered right to your door. You don't even have to go to the grocery store. Our breakfast blend of pounded coffee, our medium roast, which is Indivisible blend, and American Anarchy, which is our dark roast. You can see General Flynn there with our partner John Ferguson on the Flynn bus doing the Flynn movie last year. And we're proud to have General Flynn on board with us. But the coffee is outstanding, and I would stack it up against anything out there. Stop buying Starbucks. Stop buying it from the grocery store. Get it from us. You're going to be a lot happier. And again, it's shipped right to your door. And we are 100% American-owned and veteran-run. So keep that in mind, because that's a big deal. And you're helping us with everything that we do when you buy a bag of coffee from us. So again, we'll ship it right to your door and you're going to love it. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with Joe Denim.
Here's to the overlooked, the overworked, the underappreciated. Here's to the fighters to preserve our freedom, our liberty, our rights, our faith. Here's to the workers, the farmers, the first responders, and those who serve so bravely in our military. Here's to Americans who proudly hold tight to our values: God, privacy, freedom of speech, life, and liberty. Here's to the patriots who love this country and everything it stands for, who should never be canceled for believing in America and the blessings of liberty. Finally, there's a bank for you, Old Glory Bank, named after the flag that represents the fabric of this great country and the people of Old Glory Nation, the engine of America. Now you have a bank that values your values. Now you have a bank that stands with you, no matter where you stand. Old Glory Bank. We stand with you.
Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
He was a victim of the unlawful crime.
If you don't trust them, you think they'll be
greatest civil rights violations in American history.
Their investigation.
A window into the Trump campaign.
Unfortunately, it can happen to anyone.
And we're back. I want to bring onto the show my friend and amazing talent, singer, songwriter, and comedian, Joe Denim from Nashville. How you doing, brother?
Good, buddy. How are you doing today, John?
Doing good, man. We're busy as always, but we've got a show to do, and we're excited about it. We're thrilled to have you. Looks like you got a nice background there. Is that a wine rack back there behind you?
It's a little wine rack, yeah. I'm getting a little low. I'm gonna have to restock it, but yeah, it's, I'm here in my studio out behind my house, nestled in Donaldson, Tennessee, right outside of Nashville. It's Nashville technically, but it's 6 minutes to the Opry for where I live right here.
That's pretty doggone close, right?
Yeah, I can get there in a hurry. 2 songs and I'm there.
Well, I tell you, there's nothing like the Grand Ole Opry, man. Look, I'm going to be scrolling Joe's information, folks, at the bottom of the screen so that you can reach out and join Joe, not only on his tour, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes, but also get in contact with him and communicate with him on social media or on his website, what have you, to get involved in what Joe's doing out there. Joe, it's amazing because all the things that you're involved with, all the things that I'm involved with, and our connectivity with Hunter Nation now, which I'm very excited about. And we definitely got to give a shout out to our Hunter Nation folks, hunternation.org. Make sure you check them out. And we'll be discussing Hunter Nation a lot more over the next couple of weeks. But we had an extended piece of work that we put out there prior to the election, which in the battleground states made a huge difference, and we're thrilled to have you on board. So want to get to some questions.
All right,
some fun. I want to get to some fun questions, also some more serious questions to get your take spontaneously. President Trump, the pennies. Go.
I'm kind of torn about the pennies. I love everything he's doing, but I'm not real happy about the pennies going away because I'm just not sure how Spotify is going to pay all the songwriters now. I mean, if we don't have pennies, we can't have portions of pennies. So let's see how that goes. But I can never figure out why we had the pennies for the longest time. I mean, why would you pay, $16.87 versus just paying, 85 cents?
Right.
I'm not going to miss the penny, I don't think. Penny, go away.
Yeah, penny, go away. All right. Number 2, Trump doing away with the bridge tax in New York City.
Man, I got to tell you, we were in New York City the first day that was implemented. Ironically, we were. And the conversation about from the New Yorkers was they were trying to figure out what streets you could get to and then take the train. So they all started thinking about how to get around it the first day. It was like $9 per trip. And if you went out of the city and you came back into the city, it was another $9. It was just embarrassing, and I'm glad that it's gone. I mean, why would you tax people for coming into your city to spend money?
Well, I'll tell you, when I lived in New York City, I was going to the Actors Institute, which is a fantastic school. All the teachers there work in the business. They're not just teachers, but they're on Broadway, they're in television, they're in motion pictures, everything you can think of under the sun. And, but New York was new to me. And being an Ohio boy, that was a real culture shock, as you can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, back then, let's see, that would have been, I'm going to say like 97, 98, somewhere in there. The fee to get across the Holland Tunnel or the Lincoln Tunnel was $4. Okay. And that was back then. And it went from 4 to 6 and 6 to 8. And it just, it's never enough money, right? But yet the roads never seem to get dealt with. There's never enough money. It's an endless depository of wasted funds, right? I mean,
yeah, it's on. Okay, so we were up in Madison Square Garden in New York for a show, and there was a big rodeo, and our friends were putting the rodeo on. And they were out of Oklahoma, and they were saying that the biggest expense to put the rodeo on was paying for the trucking for the dirt that went down for the rodeo, just because of the bridge taxes.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and they charged it by the axle. It was like $20,000 or something. It was a ridiculous amount of money just to bring the topsoil in, just because of the trucks.
That's crazy, but I believe it. I totally believe it. Number 3, how do you survive as governor when you take away needed water for your citizens, the people that live in your state, right? All to save a smelt about that big. I want your take on that.
Well, I mean, I've got a lot of takes on that out there on the left coast. I mean, how do you turn the water off when you have wildfires every year? Why do you have electric lines in the air? Why would they bury those electric lines and get them to quit arcing and start fires? 1 and 2, I can't get on the side of the smelt. I mean, the smelt needs a better publicist. It's like, can you imagine how it be like, we're defending the smelt? Can you imagine the protester shirts like, smelt strong?
Well, the crazy thing, Joe, is not only do the citizens not have enough water where they do these blackouts on water that you can use, but on top of that, they just have these fires. and there was no water in the tanks and the coffers to put out the fires. What an idiot. And then on top of this, they don't take care, and Trump brought it up a while back. They don't take care of the forests themselves. In other words, they don't do any preliminary work to trim back trees and things like that to stop some of these things. They just won't do it. And so, where's all the money go? It all comes back to the money. Where's the money go, man? It's crazy.
We were out there in September. We did the Ventura County Fair on the 90s tour, which we're going to talk about. But we were out there with some friends, and I saw just stacks and heaps of like palm leaves and palm stuff. And I said, and this is a really, really nice neighborhood. And I was like, man, do you guys ever like break this stuff up, get rid of it? And he's like, no, we're not allowed to. He said, where it falls is where it has to stay. And I'm like, this thing could go up in flames. And it did. It was just like a firebox. I don't understand. It's got to be something behind the scenes we're not seeing to allow that just negligence to happen out there.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it. But it keeps happening, which leads me to number 4. New York City is out of control. It's not going to end well. You see what's going on. I mean, they've got these guys on mopeds. I saw last week they started raiding like actual homes and taking stuff. It's incredible. I saw that Joe Burrow and other athletes and movie stars that had their homes broken into by these gangs from South America. They're starting to catch them, and there was a jewelry store involved in New York City that was selling the merchandise that supposedly has a deal with these gangs. So they're stealing merchandise from people all over the country and then bringing it to New York City to sell at these pawn shops and what have you. It's crazy, man.
It's unbelievable. And, we've been traveling quite a bit. So we've been to all these hot spots, and we were in New York City and over the summer. And I forget what floor we were staying on. We were up pretty high on these floors, but for some reason the elevator stopped, and there was an armed guard at every floor below us. And I looked out through the doors, and they wouldn't let us off of the elevator, and it was full of migrants.
Oh yeah.
So we talked to the manager, and and this was a very prestigious hotel filled with immigrants, and they were all there free. And I'm like, well, why are we paying $490 a night to stay here?
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. And that leads me to my next question. With these big banks, a friend of mine, Mike Ring from Old Glory Bank, who's one of our sponsors, we love Old Glory. The big banks are killing small banks. We've lost thousands of small banks, and we've only gained at the most 50. So, imagine that. What's happening to the interior of this country, man. We're losing our ability to do banking locally with people that know us, right?
Yeah.
It's a real problem, and it's not sustainable. Number one. Number two, you wonder why people can't get loans for anything, whether it's to start a business or buy a home, whatever. It's like, pretty soon it's going to be the point you're going to be talking to some foreigner about, being able to buy a home in your own country.
Yeah. I mean, instead of I was saving up for a private jet, but now it looks like I'm going to be saving up for a private Jetta. I mean, and they're probably not going to give me one loan for that.
That's great. Here's one. With leaks coming out to thwart ICE, I'm sure you've read about this or saw the coverage, from doing their job, and the so-called protesters, it appears that this is also going to get really ugly forthcoming, not just inside the interior of the United States, but now the cartels and other territories or terrorists, from around the world supporting all this evil that comes with it, which is, robbery, assault, murder, basically chaos. What do you see coming down the pike?
Saying respectfully, I think everybody I know has guns and pallets of ammo. And I think that if they keep pushing and pushing, they're going to find out why. It's unacceptable. What's it called when you, like, if you knowingly help a criminal? What do they call that? Is that abetting or aiding and abetting?
Aiding and abetting, and there's another term for it too. I'm trying to remember.
Accomplice. Accessory to an accomplice. What point being is, like, you have these elected officials in there who are helping to have these illegals get around the law, and it's like if you did it, look, if your neighbor was a criminal and you didn't tell the cops where he was, you would go to jail as well. So I scratch my head and be like, how can AOC and these people like this be like not be instantly arrested for aiding and abetting?
And that's exactly right. And not only that, they come here and spit on our country when we saved their butt, right?
Yeah.
They wouldn't even be in Congress if we wouldn't have saved their butt. And, somebody like Omar up in Minnesota, I mean, she's not grateful to this country for anything. She hates this country. She's in Congress trying to destroy us from within, stealth jihad, right? So I have no respect for her. What go ahead.
Well, I just think that, at some point the laws that have been in place are just simply being enforced. That's why I sit and go, what is the big deal? These laws are not stuff that are just coming out. These laws they're just enforcing the laws we have. So
that's right.
I think it's got to come to a head, and I think it's going to come to a head pretty fast.
What do you think of the Gulf of America?
Well, back to your last question with the whole ICE agent. I'm out on tour with Vanilla Ice. Does that make me an ICE agent? I'm a Vanilla Ice agent. I just thought of that. Sorry. The Gulf of America. I will tell you, the songwriters once again are a little upset about the name change, because it's a lot harder to rhyme America than it is Mexico. So that being said, I think it's amazing we have the Gulf of America. It is the Gulf of America, and if we can't drill in the Gulf of Mexico, let's just drill in the Gulf of America. That's simple.
That's right. That's right. We're going to take a quick commercial break here in just a minute. But before we do, I wanted to flash this poster to give you a chance to talk about it. We're going to be showing the Yes Dear video in the second segment. But anything you want to expound upon here, Joe?
I'm having trouble deciding whether I look better in a tuxedo or on a park bench without a shirt. I haven't even seen those pictures in a minute. That's great. Yeah, look at that. That's go to joedenim.com. You can see all that foolery and fun. And I can dress up or dress down, I guess, John.
What about the confirmed tour dates? You've got Tucson, you've got Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Mississippi, Ontario, New Jersey, just a couple to name a few, and you've got this. We're going to show the video here in a little bit, but and then all of the country music stations you're a part of. Tell the audience maybe just a little bit about your tour with Vanilla Ice and Tone Loc, right?
It's called I Love the 90s, and it's a rotating cast, but for the most part, it's Rob Bass, Color Me Bad, All for One, Tone Loc, and Vanilla Ice.
Ooh, Color Me Bad too?
Yeah, Mark and the guys, those guys are great. And the tour, if you haven't seen it, you need to come and see it, because it literally is like 1994 for the entire night.
I love it.
The girls dress up in fanny packs and they do their hair and they dress like it's the 90s, and it is straight up out of the 90s. All you hear is hits, and I'm out there doing some jokes, some comedy, and playing a couple songs that everyone knows, and we're just having a really, really great blast. And the thing about it is that hip-hop audience is the same audience as ours. It's the same people go see Jason Aldean and went to see Toby Keith, go to see Tone Loc. So it's a great audience, and it's just a lot of fun.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with Joe.
Hunter Nation is the ultimate we the people in the conservation community, holding our elected employees accountable to the hunting, fishing, trapping, freedom lifestyle that has brought wildlife back to the healthiest and most thriving condition in our lifetime. HunterNation.org is the epicenter for freedom and wildlife conservation in America. I am Hunter Nation.
And we are back with Joe Denim. Joe, we're going to go to this video here and let everybody check out Yes Dear. Is that okay?
Oh, absolutely. It's came to me in a tree stand. I like to get out in the woods and hide from it all. And this song showed up one morning, and I wrote it down as fast as I could.
Let's check it out, folks. Yes Dear.
Man, I get the fever this time of year. Off to camp to Camel up nice down beer. Tree stand thoughts got me out on a limb. Yeah, when deer season's over, it's yes deer season again. Crossbow making my time in the woods last year I let a couple shooters stroll right past. Don't mind the sleet, the snow, or the wind, 'cause when deer season's over, it's yes deer season again. When we're out here fielding, streaming, their home box whining and scheming. It's a contest between us and them, they always win. Yeah, when deer season's over, it's yes deer season again. Gonna want new curtains and bathroom tile, an in-ground pool with a 10-foot slide, a patio deck's the projects never end. Yeah, when deer season's over, it's yes deer season again. Her honeydews will be a couple acres long. I checked my trail cams where all my hunting buddies gone. Ain't seen hiding her hair at the Big Bass Pro, probably picking out paint at the Home Depot. Not a set of real tree, hands to lend, 'cause when deer season's over, it's yes deer season again. When we're out here fielding, streaming, their home box whining and scheming. It's a game between us and them, and we never ever win. Yeah, when deer season's over, it's yes deer season again. I'll be pretty hard to find for a while, but pretty soon there'll be no place to hide. Not a chance to just sit down and blend on in, 'cause when deer season's over, it's yes deer season. When deer season's over, it's yes deer season again. After the hunting, the girls always get what they want, and they know us boys always came in. Big racks on the wall, lot to do before next fall. Bagging big bucks means the more big bucks we're gonna have to spend. Yeah, when deer season's over, it's yes deer season again. I think I hear one coming. Get down, get down. They're gonna see us.
Oh, man, I love it.
We had so much fun doing that video, man. You should have seen us trying to get the whole band up there in that tree stand.
I was the first thing I thought. I was like, man, that had to have been something right there. And hey, and the other part is, whoopsie daisy, how much steady.
Yeah, we built those things rock solid. That's actually one of my deer stands out in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, on 200 acres, and a lot of deer out there. But we didn't see it that day.
I know that area pretty well, Mount Juliet.
Yeah.
In fact, I got to give them props, because when I'm in the Nashville area, and if I'm anywhere near Mount Juliet, I always stop, because they have some of the best gas prices around.
Yeah, they do. It's good out there, just a little bit east of town, and Yeah, we had a lot of fun shooting. I got to wear my Ted Nugent jacket in the video, my Gonzo bow hunter jacket.
Yeah. I showed Ted that. He loved it.
Yeah, that's what you were showing me.
Yeah, he sent me back a reply. I think I texted it to you.
Yeah.
Real quick, we got a couple more questions here before we run out of time.
Yeah.
And by the way, speaking of deer season, I mentioned about, our partnership working with Hunter Nation and some other things that you and I are going to do together. What do you think the wolf population is going to look like this year?
Well, they can't eat smelt. I think the wolves are probably going to have to go back. I think the wolves.
That's right.
I think
the wolves. No.
I think the wolves are going to have to go back on the carnivore diet.
You're killing me, man. By the way, I was in DC for about a week for the inauguration, and I ended up getting sick when I got home. That's like twice in 2 months, man, that I got sick. But it's been rough the last couple of months. But bottom line is, I recommended an Italian restaurant to you.
Yep.
Do you remember the name of that restaurant?
I was trying to remember the name. I have the guy's business card. The owner of that establishment came in and sat down next to us. Turns out he's got 4 restaurants in Nashville. He owns the Standard and a couple other. If you give is some brothers. It was
was it the Belly?
No. It was a little one right there that's been there. The building was built in 1749, and it was where it was some of the best Italian food, the greatest restaurants, amazing wine. Dan, I'll think of it.
Well, I'm telling you right now, this Landini, the Landini brothers. That's
Landini brothers. Yep, Landini brothers. Yep, that's exactly what it was.
What did you have to eat there?
I had like a chicken marinara pasta. I said, basically, make me want to come back. I don't even order anymore. I mean, when I go through the drive-through, here's how I go through the drive-through. I pull around the drive-through, and they'll ask for my order, and I'll just say, look, just put $12 worth of stuff in a bag. And they're like, we can't do that. I'm like, you did last Thursday. I mean, basically, when I go to a restaurant like the one you suggested, which was very, very nice, I literally just said, look, make me want to come back. And they brought out this dish of chicken, and there was some chorizo or some sausage or something. It was amazing. So that's going to be my stop once I get back.
All right. Great having you, brother. I appreciate you coming on the show. You got to spend some time with us, and we're going to be hooking up real soon. So, folks, again, JoeDenim.com and on social media at The Real Joe Denim. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Brother, we really enjoyed it. And like I said, we're going to be seeing you real soon.
Yeah, I want to come back. I got some new music I want to play for you live on the air. And look, if you guys are out and about in any of those tour markets, come and see us. I'd love to meet you, say hello to you.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Have a great day, okay?
All right, we'll see you, John. Thank you.
God bless you. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. We've tried so many of Mike's products at MyPillow. Whether it's the Giza Dream Sheets, the MyPillow mattress topper, or whether it's the MyPillow towel sets. Me and my family here at Indivisible, we've tried all of Mike's great products, and we just love them. My mom loves her robe. Mark loves the big dog bed for Shakespeare. And my favorite, the moccasins, which are really great for my feet. Save up to 66% off for MyPillow products for you and your family. Go to MyPillow.com and enter the promo code Indivisible for my show. Or call 1-800-716-4639 and give them the promo code Indivisible for my show. You're going to love it. And we're back. Great show tonight. Went a couple minutes, maybe not a minute over, maybe. Hopefully, I'll take a look at that, but it looks like it's close. Anyway, great show. Joe's hilarious, and get out and see him and Vanilla Ice and Tone Loc and all the great bands that you'll remember from the 80s. but Joe is hilarious. So, and we're thrilled to be working with him alongside Hunter Nation and also our coffee line. Folks, God bless you. God bless your families, and God bless America.